Thank you, sir. I'd like to start. So we've been talking about the issues of unemployment in the state and the issues of our youth not getting employment, and this has been the concern of all the honorable members of this House, sir. So, sir, why I've brought this is because a lot of, people, even young people, have taken up to poultry farming, pig rearing, cattle, dairy farming. But in the course of their, sir, their work, they've come across, sir, impediments, hurdles, hardships. And one of the hardships they faced is the rising costs of feed, sir. So some of them have, enthusiastically taken up this activity, but as they, go along, they find that it is not, profitable, it is not, as per the expectations. So some of them have reverted back to, the conventional job, that is working as daily wage earners, so on and so forth, sir. So to encourage more and more people to take up this activity, but then we have been discussing the outflow of precious capital for the state to import all these products from other parts of the country. So if we can, encourage, motivate, yes, I know the government has come up with various schemes, but then it's yet to have its effects. So this is one, one aspect that is really affecting the people engaged in this activity, the rising costs of feed. So, sir, after meeting a lot of people, especially in my constituency, and I believe in entire state, people besides agriculture, have these allied activities like pig rearing, cattle rearing, poultry, at a very small scale level. Now, if we want to encourage them to enhance, to upskill their activity, so we have got to lend a hand, handhold them and support them. So, sir, I know livestock are a necessary component in the state of Meghalaya, from raising them for consumption to rearing them for their products. The state relies heavily on them for its sustenance in one form or the other. According to the 20th livestock census in the year 2019, the total number of cattle in the state is about 9 lakhs, while the total number of pigs being reared is about 7 lakhs. Total number of fowls is about 53 lakhs. So the total numbers of livestock as per 2019 livestock census is about 69 lakhs. I think by now the number must have increased, except for in the case of cattle, where because of the lumpy skin disease, a lot of farmers have been affected. So I'm just, prepared an analysis so that the government, the minister will get some idea of, of the cost that is, involved in, in this activity. The quoted number, sir, is extremely relevant as the cost of feed for livestock naturally increases over the years. To elucidate, one can take the example of a dairy farmer's expenses, because I worked this out, sir, in my interaction with the dairy farmers of my constituency. Farmers' quoted price of normal quality feed, that is khadi, mustard, oil cake in particular, is 1,360 per sack of about 50 kg in weight during September 2024. While in February 2025, just a matter of few months, sir, price has escalated to 1,380 per sack of 50 kg, sir. The earlier price was 50 kg. Now these revised price, enhanced price is of 40 kg sack for the normal quality feed, whereas the higher quality feed is almost 1,500 per sack of about 50 kg, sir. Concurrently, cattle require to be fed multiple items apart from khadi, such as chapat, rice, corn powder, salt and water, for aiding in production of quality milk. Simply put, sir, the following costs are incurred on the mentioned feed: chapat at 1,300 per sack, 37 kg, rice at almost 1,600 per sack, 50 kg, corn powder at 1,200 per sack, 40 kg, salt at 400 per sack, 50 kg. The average milk producing cow sir, consumes about 5 kg of feed a day, in addition to 30 kgs of fresh grass and not less than 60 liters of boiled water. So while local brands of feed are available in the market, but then the cattle farmers often prefer to buy imported brands that are produced from outside the state, like from Siliguri, from Guwahati. However, there is, now there is a preference for feed produced in our own state, Bernihat, which, we can deter over reliance on imported feed and then ensure that, precious resources, remain in the state. Although, sir, this I would like to bring to the Honorable Minister and the government, sir. Although feed prices have increased over the years and the market sees it, it is unfortunate, sir, that the price of milk remains constant. So I think this has to be balanced. If the feed increases, I think the price of milk also should be enhanced, sir, so that, cattle farmer make some profit out of it. Otherwise, people will give up this, and then we are losing on all fronts. Precious resources going out of the state, people not taking up this activity, then, the rate of unemployment increases. The static quotation of milk, despite the sharp fluctuation in feed, expedites a loss in the dairy farmers' livelihoods. The loss is experienced by both small and marginal dairy farmers, large-scale dairy farmers alike. Sustaining oneself in this profession becomes increasingly challenging, and when the challenge is too difficult, too much, people give up this activity, and we all stand to lose. So, sir, yes, there are challenges. So, to improve production local feed, I think the fodder and seed production farms and the fodder demonstration farms were established by the State Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Department for the purpose of producing fodder and seeds for government and private farms. Through this initiative, the feed milling plants can be utilized to supply mixed feed at competitive price. Furthermore, the feed analytical laboratory can analyze feed ingredients and mixed feed to ensure quality and compliance. Sir, there are some of the challenges being faced by the dairy farmers in particular, and of course, others also who are raising, pigs, raising fowl and all. But I've, confined myself to dairy farmers because a lot of people in my constituency take up this activity. Rising livestock feed costs have substantially increased expenses, while fluctuating feed prices with market season make cost management difficult. So, despite increasing feed costs, I'll reiterate again, milk prices remain constant. So, I'd request the government, if this can be looked into, so it makes this activity profitable and ensure that our farmers do not incur losses. Over-reliance on expensive and unreliable imported feed is yet another challenge. Perhaps the state can look into this and ensure that more and more people, now we're talking about unemployment. Yes, the government has come up with many schemes to encourage people to take up, activity in self-employment challenges. I think this can be looked into so that our youth, especially those who have got some, qualification in this sector, can be encouraged to set up, this feed mill plant so that, the resources remain here, and then of course the price can be controlled by the government. So limited availability of quality local feed forces farmer to rely on imports. So another point that we are losing precious resources, and then inconsistent quality of local brands. The challenges affect both small-scale and large-scale dairy and livestock farmers alike. Poor market infrastructure and lack of knowledge about market linkages hinder farmers' ability to sell their products. Yes, sir, they have set up portal, but you have to understand most of these people who are into these activities are not very educated. So I think the government has to come with other ways and means to ensure that, information, what kind of assistance that can be provided. If, we have societies, for example, in Mylliem area societies, if the government can reach out to them directly and ensure the kind of support, the kind of assistance that can be provided, will go a long way, sir, in ensuring that, the people understands that yes, the government stands by them. Many farmers rely on single outlet for milk sales, sir. So due to an awareness of alternative market options, I think, sir, we have to create more market options, more alternatives, so that, it's not dependent on one outlet or one, market option. So to make dairy and livestock farming a viable business, a proper market outlet with fair bargaining power for farmers is essential. A supportive environment with adequate market infrastructure is necessary to make livestock farming a lucrative enterprise. Right now, sir, it has not become very lucrative, and in fact, some of them have been not motivated enough, to enhance their activity. They're just doing it, to make ends meet, somehow to survive. But it can be made into a lucrative enterprise, sir, so that we benefit, in every way, be it the farmer, be it the government, be it, then we can create other allied activities. For example, if there are more market infrastructure, a lot of our people who have taken up, this BBA, MBA, can get into this kind of business also. It should be noticed that the challenges in transportation that add an additional 50-60 kilometers to transportation routes affected the price of imported feed. For example, we'll be discussing about, the Mylliem bridge. So now all the transportation has to take the route right from Mountain. So this increases the cost. So that also should be taken into consideration. That's why the increase for the price of milk should be considered urgently by the department, sir. While the low demand of livestock products lead to lesser profit, accruement for farmers engaged in this livelihood. So yes, so these are some of the things, and then I'd like to, in conclusion, yes, the state government support for livestock farmers is a step in the right direction. However, room for improvement exists, so I have pointed out, sir. Streamlining aid distribution process, revising eligibility criteria can make a significant difference in the life of these farmers. Moreover, sir, addressing the fodder shortage is crucial for sustainable livestock farming. This shortage is exacerbated by factors like limited land, poor soil quality, climate change, and urbanization. The government can implement a system of check and balances. This system would ensure a harmonious coexistence between development and protection of cultivation areas. By doing so, the government can boost feed cultivation, ultimately reducing financial burden. So I raised this particular issue because in my interaction with the farmers, most of them, these are the problems being faced by them: rising cost of feed, and then of course we have, businessmen taking advantage of these farmers. So I think if we can support, sir, for example, now if subsidized feed can be provided to the people, this will go in a long, long way, sir, in ensuring that more and more people take up this activity and ensure that our milk production is enhanced, it is increased. It will go a long way, sir, benefiting everyone, benefiting the people, benefiting the state, and of course, we can encourage people even to take more milk for their health. And so with these few words, I would request the government to urgently look into this matter, because thousands of people are engaged in this activity. Of course, I've confined myself to dairy farmers, sir, but you look at the people engaged in piggery, in this poultry farming, a lot of people are engaged of this. And then I've spoken to some poultry farmers also. They say, no, so the costs are very high. Sometimes we just make very, very marginal profit. So I think this is one sector I would request the minister, who is a very experienced, long-term MLA, to look into this. And another point, sir, before I sit down, is you see now there was an assurance to create a veterinary hospital in Nampa Shillong, but I think nothing has come of it. So for example, the lumpy skin disease, if we had a hospital somewhere close there, maybe this disease could have been controlled right at the initial stage. But because there was no proper health care for the animals, so this disease spread from one village to another village. And as I've said earlier in my earlier statements, some of the farmers have lost the entire stock. Some of them have just one cattle or two cattle, sir, which has become very, very unviable for them to, sustain themselves. So, sir, I would request the government, if we can look into this. For example, the Chief Minister has spoken about, developing the border roads. So we have to look inside also, not neglect people who are inside also. For example, people engage in dairy farming, poultry farming. Then we can encourage more and more young people to take up this activity if it is profitable, as an alternative source of employment, self-employment. And so my request is for the veterinary hospital somewhere in Upper Shillong, Mylliem area, because most of the cattle farmers are confined to those areas, so that when they need care for the animals, there is a hospital close by. So because at present now there's only one hospital in Shillong, and it will be difficult for farmers to bring their cattle, their pigs, poultry to the hospital in Shillong. So with these few words, sir, I resume my seat, and thank you very much.
Thank you.